Oh, hello. Yeah. Well, pleased that it's Friday. Yeah, I am stuck in a kind of worky rut at the moment, and I don't want to be. Uh, I've reached that stage in my life where I just don't want to do things anymore. Yeah, I want to do loads of things, but I don't want to do things anymore. Anyway, there was a sort of odd, little quirky story which caught my eye yesterday. Big Brother. Yes, I know it's still a thing. Yes, I'm sure you don't care. However, there was one particular eviction which caught my eye. A guy called George Gilbert has been kicked out of the household, and for, well, a variety of unacceptable comments, which probably won't be broadcast because they're unacceptable. But the way the media has constructed this story is one of the usual sort of sense of the plucky individual which telling the truth that you and I, as the wokists, can't actually deal with. But there are a number of flaws in the story. Yes, because George is a parish councillor. He's 23. Here he is. Yes, he's a parish councillor, which isn't a job. I mean, it just isn't a job. It's the sort of thing you do as a parish councillor when you're 67 and you want something to do to potter around a bit one night a week. It's not a job. It's no, George. It's not a job. Lives with his mum. Mum's very upset because the keyboard warriors have been on him, but we'll come back to that. And apparently he's had a few bits where he's been in various, sort of as an extra in various things. In other words, he's unemployed and presumably saw his way in Big Brother as making a splash and potentially becoming something, which he might well be able to use this as a particular springboard because of the wokists being after him. However, it would transpire that the things he's been saying are just seem to show that he's rather a spoiled bigot in the way that lots of people from his part of Essex are, just bigots. There's no other way around it. So, of course, today, or rather yesterday, we had a wide variety of the usual bigoted suspects picking up on it, like GB News, Dan Wootton, your and my favourite transphobe, James Esses, because apparently we just can't handle the level of truth that George has come out with. And George, of course, will seek that maximum level of being the victim that he can do. But the problem I always have with these things is that basically he's just a bully. He's just a very, very self-centred nobody who's a bully that seems to think that if you don't like them being bullies, that you're the one with the problem. Well, no, we're not, okay? I've never liked bullies in my life. Being a little kid at heart, I'm still a little kid on the inside, I just don't like bullies at all. And I don't see why we should live in a society where, number one, we elevate bullies to being somehow senior tellers of the truth. Well, it's true, they are fact. Well, yeah, it's true, you are a bigot, George, yeah? Or indeed that they should be monetised. So, of course, the Dan Wootons and the James Esses will be picking up on this because, after all, these are people that do seek to monetise their own bigotry. But there's something very, very wrong in the world. Not where we just elevate the concept of some nobody who's allowed to just spout off on camera and be paid for it, but just that we elevate them to being somehow morally superior to the rest of us that think that we should be treated with a level of dignity that they patently can't actually manage. And of course the irony with all of this is that, for all his free speech about, trans people and the gay ideology being shoved down people's throats, he's actually been an extra in a gay drama. Which is realistically where such people should reside. So what I'd realistically say is, well, go out and get a proper job, because no, I'm sorry, being a parish councillor isn't. Whenever I see somebody who's in their early 20s that says that they're something like a stand-up comic, I think to myself, no, you're unemployed and you've done a couple of turns on the mic. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a teacher, all right? This is just a hobby. Sorry, I'm not expecting to make any money out of it ever. It's not the reason why I do things, okay? And I don't see why other people necessarily should, be elevated to the status of truth tellers. I'm certainly not one. I'm merely A commentator. Anyway, do have a lovely sort of Friday if you can do. Yeah, I need my weekend. I need to, I don't know, lift myself out of this autumnal haze that I appear to be in. Do have a lovely one.